Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Mike. Today I want to talk to you about EduAid and creating my lesson plans. And I've got beta access and it's quite interesting. So basically the theme of my topic today is for a B1 level class, and we're looking at modal verbs of deduction. We've finished modal verbs, and I just wanted to find ways of how I can use modal verbs in deduction in my class to make it a little bit more experiential or a little bit more interesting and engaging for my students. So basically I've got grade 6, grade 7. I asked for a lesson seed and I just threw in the name, modal verbs of deduction. I did try some other ways. I tried creating the text for an anchor chart, social emotional learning activity, an icebreaker activity. So basically I typed in modal verbs of deduction, chose my target group, and bang, workspace. And this is what I got out, my first draft I should say. Gave me an objective. Students will be able to understand and use modal verbs of deduction: may, must, might, could, to make logical guesses about a situation or event. I could add here in the past, in the present and in the past, but I haven't. Basically the teaching strategy I'm going to use is apparently is a lecture and discussion, some group work, giving a scenario, and they will have to use it in the practice stage in the production stage where they're producing language. And obviously a role play, which is quite creative and quite interesting. Basically said the cue sets that I will need is a graphic organizer. I don't have a graphic organizer, but I thought of something else there. Some real world examples and maybe some videos. It gave me some ideas for activities, a guessing game, sentence completion, story creation. The teacher will provide a scenario and ask students to use modal verbs of deduction to make logical guesses about what happened. Okay, that's quite interesting. The teacher will provide incomplete sentences and ask students to use modal verbs of deduction to complete them. And the teacher will ask students to create a story using modal verbs of deduction to make logical guesses about what happened. So it does give you an outline or a lesson plan outline. It gives you an assignment ideas as well. Writing assignment, students will write a short paragraph using modal verbs of deduction to make logical guesses about a scenario. Now that I'm reading this, I think it connects it all up. It doesn't give detailed instructions. Obviously you could ask for more instructions. Students will create a presentation using modal verbs of deduction to make logical guesses about real world situation. And all role play. What I can see here is a closure question, maybe like a reflective question. What can I see? I can see here, I can visualize a choice board, giving them voice and choice on exactly what they want to create in the assignment ideas, which is quite interesting. So basically, I went on to create an anchor chart, and it gave me the text for the anchor chart. Modal verbs of deduction. I suppose I could take that text and like write it on the board, or throw it into a presentation, or even use Canva to create something. And then I took I found a team building activity. I think it was either icebreaker or team building activity, I can't really remember. A challenge for 5 minutes to compare teamwork. So it's a team building activity. And I found that quite interesting. Divide students into teams of 2 or 4. Give each team a set of cards with sentences on them. Instruct the teams to read each sentence. Decide which modal verb of deduction. Okay, these are just quite easy examples. Once all teams have completed the sentence, ask them to read out their completed sentence. Award points to each team that correctly use a modal verb of deduction. Okay, so it gave me 5 example sentences, and I thought, hold on, maybe I should create flashcards for these 5 example sentences. There are a lot of apps out there. My favorite one has to be the easiest one. Not too sure if it's the best one, because we're talking about text to image generators like Midjourney, Hugging Face, Leonardo, DALL-E. There's quite a few out there to choose from, but I prefer the apps in Canva, text to image app. And basically this is the model sentence. Tom has been practicing the piano for hours. He something be very good by now. In that case, I will probably present this in class. And there's 5 of them, so have 2 teams to write down the answers and justify it, because here it's modal verb of deduction with using the present form. So he may be very good by now, he must be very good by now, he could be. I suppose here I can talk about the percentage of how probable it is for my students to actually justify. So I created a few more. Doesn't look like rain here, I should have changed that maybe. Sarah's a great dancer. The traffic is really bad. The vase is broken. This is a past form of the modal verb of deduction. Anyway, so as you can see, I've started blending both options in. Icebreaker activity, guess who? I threw this in, I'm not too sure, I haven't read it yet, but it's almost the end of the year now. I'm not sure I really need an icebreaker activity. Maybe I can leave that there and see how it goes. I also chose social emotional learning activity, a 10-minute social emotional learning activity. Learning the topic, for example, kindness, bullying, or community. I left the same modal verbs of deduction. So understanding emotions with modal verbs of deduction. So the aim here is to help students understand emotions and learn how to express them accurately. So it gives me a step-to-step guide on how I can use it as an activity in my class. Also, I went into the anchor chart, and sorry for the ups and downs, but I went into the anchor chart. I selected the bullet points of the anchor chart, and I said extract the words, the most important words. And what it did, it gave me like the most important words like is must, might, may, could, and can't. And it basically rebuilds it. If you don't like something, you can just select it, right click, decrease, increase difficulty. And that will rewrite it. The chance or possibility instead of likelihood. It will rewrite it in a easier form of language. So if you need to differentiate your material for class, it's all there for you. Great. The role play scenario talked about, somewhere in here it talked about, let me see if I can find it. Students who work in groups to create a role play using modal verbs of deduction. It's usually like a role play where there's been a murder or something, and you have to extract the evidence, and you have to see, guess, deduct, use logical assumption to create sentences, which is quite interesting. So finishing up, EduAid, check it out. It's in Get Beta Access. The creators are very friendly. They're always there to support you, and I think you'll like it. Bye for now.